It's on the same line. Don't break the words. Don't break up words. So missing millimeters of mercury. Okay, how do you know that this mild, how do you know if this mild fatigue is directly related to this medication? What does mild control mean?
My
Well, so what's the goal for blood pressure?
less than 130/80.
Okay, so the patient is pretty close, right?
Yeah.
So the systolic blood pressure is not controlled. However, this is when was this blood pressure taken? Is this one single measurement
It's a one single measurement.
versus average? So for labs, always have dates. So this is seems like a different font to all your other fonts. Be consistent in font style and size. Always double check. Okay. Patient feels like it's not working. What does this mean?
Uh,
Not working and doing what?
okay, he feels that the medication is not working for him. That is
What does
what
that mean?
that
What is
he's
he?
not that is not
What?
feeling the
What should the iron tablets do for him? What's the iron tablets treating? Number one,
it's an iron supplement.
it's treating what disease state?
Anemia.
Anemia, right?
Anemia, yeah.
So what's so signs and symptoms? Okay, we're this is really overtime, and I have to go to another meeting. Anemia in general. Think about what the mechanism of action for anemia is and why taking iron supplement, what it's supposed to do for the patient. I want you to look it up because when you look it up, it builds into your long-term memory. Okay. And then so non-identified Eliquis, BID appropriate for H. Okay, so again, here you can delete this because this section is on inappropriate medications, right? Inappropriate dosing, not on appropriate dosing. Okay, resubmit, then your workup form. So again, this needs to be changed. This needs to be corrected. This is not your workup form. This is your intake form. See?
So,
This
so
says intake.
intake form. Yeah.
This is not your workup form. This is your third form. This is all the way at the very bottom where you're soaping each of the issues out.
Okay.
You already uploaded this in your intake form, and it says intake. Okay, so you need to upload your workup form as soon as possible. And unfortunately, because of not uploading the correct form, I would need to minus some points here. Because you also need to be able to follow instructions.
Because it says workup, I thought this is the right one to.
Intake documentation form. This is the third part. So if you look at your modules here, there are 3 forms. Patient workup intake form, MedRec assessment form, and then workup form, your assessment and plan form. Okay, 1, 2, and 3. That's how the assignment is set up, not by me, by Dr. Colhane. Intake, MedRec, and workup form. That matches to this under the module 1, 2, and 3. Does that make sense now?
Yeah.
Okay, so you need to upload this workup form as soon as possible. Okay. So lots to do. So now for your patient case, what guidelines have you found? Talk me through it.
Uh, you mean the journal?
Yeah, journal guidelines. You need to look at guideline first, and then
Yes,
look into journals.
okay. I find the journals, but because of the one I sent you, I've not yet. I didn't post it because of time. So since it's a draft something, so I was not.
So you already found. So what guideline are you looking at?
I've,
Remember to always go to the guideline first, right?
okay, the guideline first.
Okay, I have your presentation here. Let me look at it. So patient history, this should be the HPI, history of present illness. Yeah, I've got it. So I'm giving you verbal feedback, okay? So this should be the HPI.
Okay.
Is this his full medication list? Okay, so and then also indication should be first. Drug name, dose, route, frequency should be together, not separated. Meaning indication should be the first column, and then your drug name, and then your dose, route, frequency. And I don't think this is the full list of his medication, is it? No. I think he has other medication. Okay, so don't forget to list those.
Okay.
Epidemiology of dizziness. Okay, so this is very faint. I could barely read it. Have a darker background when you have light letters. Okay. And don't forget to have a reference list all the way at the end. So where you need to have a superscript citation for these per the AJHP citation format. Superscript should be over here. Superscript. Like this. For every statistic that you have, you need to have a superscript citation. And all the way at the end, you need to have a reference list that matches these citation number. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, risk factors, okay. Dizziness, that's good. Pathophys, dizziness. Patient assessment. So over here, after pathophys of dizziness, you need to put in a clinical guideline. So clinical guideline for dizziness, maybe like a vestibule. So let's Google here. Clinical treatment guidelines for dizziness. So here, the AAFP, so American Academy of Family Physicians, has a dizziness approach to evaluation and management. This is the guideline that you need to cite or talk about first. Is what about the clinical guideline? And then you go into a paper, because this guidelines from 2017. So from 2017 to 2025, are there any clinical trials that's available that talks about dizziness treatment in elderly? Okay, so take a look at this. Take a look at this. Looks like the American Academy of Otolaryngology, the head and neck surgery, they also have an update. So I would say take a look at this one as a guideline and this one as a guideline. Okay?
Okay.
And then update your slides and insert the guideline. And then here, if you were to just put in here. Dizziness, elderly. And just do 2017 to 2026. Because we have guidelines till 2017. Okay. So here we have a really good paper here in terms of your non-pharmacological approach, right?
Yeah.
Conventional versus virtual reality-based vestibular rehabilitation exercise in elderly with dizziness, RCT. Perfect. I think this is good. 2022. Okay, so take a picture of this or write this down so that you can go and find this paper again, and that you would peacock this paper. Okay, so well, first you would describe what the guidelines suggest, right? Then you would say that from 2017 till now, there is updated clinical trials, and peacock this, okay? PICOT. Peacock this. Then you have an application, last slide, about, okay, so now that I've read the guideline, what the recommendations are, now I read this paper, how do these apply to my patient? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I really have to go. I have another meeting, and we will meet this Thursday. Okay, so Thursday morning, email me your updated slides. Okay, so we can talk about it during the meeting.
Okay.
All right, Fola.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, hang in there. Okay,
Bye.
have a good day.
You too.